They disguised a white van as an agricultural van, kind of like those buses that we saw. They welded on a rack on the front. They put the water jugs on the front. And then everybody that came through put on a safety vest and a hard hat. Well, safety vests are common, but hard hats, no. And so when the farmhand asked the guy what they were doing, he says, we're working on this farm. He goes, you don't work for me. He goes, you don't work for me. So they all piled into the car. There was like 60 people that got into a 50-passenger van. And they went over. Border Patrol waited for them at the California-Arizona border right across the street from the sheriff's office. Saw where they went, followed them to a stash house. And from there, they just let them sit because they were interested in the traffickers, not the individuals that were coming across. So 2 days later, they cut open that gate right here. The same van pulls back up. It's full of people. It fills up with people. They take it over to that same stash house. The next day, or it was 3 days later, actually, they waited a couple of days. Border Patrol was up here watching the investigative unit, and then they cut over here. This time they brought armed guards on the other side, and they're using acetylene torches. So they've got to hump those big tanks over the river up into this area. And so 2 armed guards with AKs are standing watch over the guy that's cutting the fence. At that point in time, once they saw armed guards, because they're actually on U.S. soil, Border Patrol said, yeah, we're going to shut this down before it escalates. Because they welded this up every single day and they kept coming back. So they followed the people back, they busted the stash house, and then they called their counterparts on the other side, because Mexico does have a Border Patrol now, and asked them to investigate those individuals. Those individuals never showed up again, but they were able to bust about 160 people in that stash house over in Winter Haven, California. And then they were able to investigate that that smuggling ring, which ended up to be one of those same cartels. This is Baja, California. At our western side, it is on the southern side where we have Sonora. That's where we get into the violence. That's where we have El Chapo's cartel, the New Generation cartel, and the older fighting against the younger, because Chapo's out of the picture for the most part. So his sons are like the new generation. So lots of violence, lots of murders over in this area. We've only had one incident over the past 3 years since Biden took office, and the Army, the National Guard, and the cartel got into it on the sand dunes, which are over there, and it spread a little bit into the town.